Hello everyone, my name is
Anna,
Julia,
Linda,
Marieva,
Madalena,
Lazar,
and we are DYouth.
Are you high? Are you low? Hang on there, you aren't alone. Here we come, here we go, the youth around the globe.
DYouth welcomes you to the new episode of the Diabetes Daily podcast. Enjoy! What was the most impressive thing you have experienced during the year with diabetes?
Hello everyone, my name is Marieva, and to the question, what was the most impressive thing during the year with diabetes? I would answer that I haven't realized till then how strong I am and how much I can handle. So the most impressive thing for me is that now I feel that there's nothing that I cannot do, that I'm not capable of, that if I want, I can do it. And this is impressive because before we are all excuses and we're trying to find a way not to do something. But now, if you have no choice sometimes, not only you're capable of doing it, in the end, you're understanding the lessons that you're getting through all this. So, yeah, I think this is very important. It is a whole different perspective of the life. And last but not least, you have to, actually, we all know that even at hard times and even if you fail, you always have to wake up, stand up, and be there and try to do and give your best self of yourself. And this is very impressive because not everyone understands that you can give your best of yourself, the best of yourself, and you have to be very strong and brave to do that.
What did you learn about yourself with diabetes?
As I said during my episode, I have had diabetes, type 1 diabetes, since I was 19 years old. So I was old enough, but I think that diabetes has made me learn a lot about myself anyway. Like all the things that happened to me in my life. Everything has a meaning at the end. Of all the things, I think it give me extra motivation to try to do certain things. And for example, sometimes to slow down when I feel the need, or sometimes even to stop myself, but then to restart. An example is when I go to the mountains. Sometimes I have to stop because of diabetes and hypoglycemia, and it wasn't easy to come to peace with that, with the fact that sometimes I have to stop, but that's how it is. So it's just part of the process to get to the top.
What is new with your diabetes management and what stays the same?
So this year, I think there has been a big change in my diabetes treatment because I finally decided to go through the process and switch to a sensor. Earlier, I had some problems that made me unsure about the sensor. There were difficulties with both the acquisition and the sensor, so it was difficult for me to convince myself. But I've been in a lot of diabetes communities this year where I met people who have encouraged me not to be afraid and switch to a sensor. It wasn't an easy road anyway. I had to go to a new doctor because of this and fill out a lot of papers and applications, and there was a point when they said I couldn't get a sensor. But in the end, I succeeded And now I am wearing a brand new sensor for 1 week. This is a Medtronic Guardian 4, which I love because it is beautiful. I can constantly see my glucose levels and their changes, which is very exciting. I am looking at it all the time. I can see that is a very big change for me. It is more simple in many ways, but I still have to learn a lot about it. And also, I am a little bit afraid that there is a downside of this because of that constant attention. But overall, I am very, very glad that I took this step and overcome my fears about this. The next step will be the insulin pump, but that is still a matter of the future. And finally, I would like to say that I am very grateful for all the communities and conversations with people that encouraged me and motivated me in this, because I think that without them, it wouldn't have been possible.
What do you wish for the next year?
I hope that our idea will reach new people. I hope that many will recognize our idea, our podcast, and that we will have more and more participants, more stories, because I think that there are more stories to be told. And I hope that we will become so big that we will maybe try some other formats, that we will maybe start a new podcast. But yeah, the most important thing, I hope that we will continue to enjoy this process, this path that we started, and that people will recognize this, that people will hear all these stories, and at the end that we will make people with diabetes will make better place for them, and that people with diabetes, that us, that we will feel more relaxed and more accepted, because at the end we will know that we are not alone, that there are people out there going through all that we are going through. And yes, I hope that this podcast, this team will grow and grow and change the year that's upon us.
What was the most interesting fact you have learned about diabetes? What was the most interesting experience?
I think one of the most interesting experiences for me this year was the participation in the IDF Youth Leadership Lab in Bulgaria, because I've got to know so many different people living with type 1 diabetes from several countries, and I've learned so many things about the diabetes care situation in different countries, which comes along with the accessibility for medication and care and so on. And somehow I know things about health inequality because I'm studying public health, and that's a very well discussed topic there. But knowing something is not the same as feeling something, and the Youth Leadership Lab gave me the opportunity to really connect emotional feelings to health inequality. And that's such a rich and such a sad experience. Um, so I'm living in Germany, and before the participation in the camp, I did not know non-German persons with diabetes. So I took the standard here as granted, and I was not aware of the situation in other countries, even if I'm studying public health. So I a theoretical know about the situations, but like I said, I did not feel it. So through the participation in the camp, I got to know people from some countries who did not supply proper diabetes care, for example. So people would get the slower insulin instead of the fast one because it's cheaper for the health system, and things like CGMs or sensors have to pay out of pocket, and it's not covered by the health insurance and so on. So it was such a great experience to get the chance to really connect emotional and personal stories to this theoretical background, because now I'm really motivated to address this field somehow. So of course I do not know how at this point, but at least I'm very aware of this topic, and it makes me so angry. And yes, it's just so unfair that the care you get depends on the place you were born. And yeah, it's nothing new, but yeah, sometimes theoretical knowledge does not help. You have to have the experience, and yeah, I'm very grateful for the participation in the camp, and it still has great value to me. And yeah, I'm so happy that I've learned so many things and I've got to know all these wonderful people.
How do you celebrate Christmas and what do you have to consider regarding your diabetes management? How do you cope with high blood sugar?
Christmas is undoubtedly one of the best times of the year, with lights all over the cities, Christmas music playing wherever you are, presents to give and receive, and most especially the time when families get together. In addition to all this, the 24th and 25th are filled not only with love and conviviality, but also with lots of food. Sweets then from the single things like chocolates to desserts. But this is all part of the season and the Christmas atmosphere, and diabetes won't spoil it. The 24th and 25th are a terror when it comes to keeping our blood sugar levels under control. With so much food, so many sweets, and on those 2 days, you never stop eating. But it's okay to struggle to keep your blood sugar stable. We don't need to be perfect all the time. We just need to do our best. I'm sure that if we do our best, we may not be perfect, but nothing serious will happen. Christmas is something so magical, which only happens once a year, that we can't get bored or let the day go by like any other just because of our blood sugar levels. Let's do our best to control our diabetes and never stop enjoying Christmas to the full.
From the DYouth team, we would like to thank you very much for listening our 10 first episodes.
We also would like to thank our participants to tell their stories.
Thank you for listening to us, because without you, all this podcast wouldn't be existent.
And we can't wait to hear the following stories next year.
We are now saying goodbye for the winter break, and we will be back for you in the new year.
Merry Christmas and good blood sugars to everyone.
Καλά Χριστούγεννα!
Vi auguro buone feste e tanta serenità a tutte e tutti voi.
Boldog karácsonyt!
Srećan Božić!
Fröhliche Weihnachten!
Feliz Natal!
Are you high? Are you low? Hang on there, you are up to low. Here we go, the youth around the globe.
DYouth thanks you for receiving this episode of Diabetes Daily. We hope you like it. Thank you for your support. If you feel like sharing your own story, check out our show notes on how you can do so. Until next week, we wish you good blood sugar.